There are very, very few people that I've ever known who had a drive in them like Michael had. But I will say one thing for Michael Jordan, to this day and ever, he never came to me and asked for other players. He never came to me and asked me to draft a player. He never came to me and asked me to trade for a player. Never once did that happen.
Now, who you just heard talking, that was Jerry Krause, former GM for the Chicago Bulls from 1985 to 2003. So he was a GM during Jordan's three-peats. And in that clip, you just heard him say that Jordan never went to him and basically asked him to trade for this player or to draft this player. But I'm here today to basically prove that, well, that just wasn't true. Cue the intro. So y'all, all this started with a classic Instagram post that I saw, and it was basically saying that Michael Jordan's better than LeBron James simply because Jordan never asked for help and never recruited players like LeBron James did. And they used this clip from Jerry Krause saying that he never recruited players to basically defend that. So I went to the comments, y'all, and I told them, as much as I love MJ, he literally told the organization to get Rodman in '96. And then I told everybody to do their research, because this is literally a literal fact. And of course, a Jordan fan said he did not. They asked Jordan and Pippen both. So then I said, and Jordan said yes. Pippen and Phil Jackson didn't want Rodman on the team because of his past history with the Pistons. And because at that time, Dennis Rodman was also viewed as uncoachable and no one wanted to deal with him because of his off the court antics. Now this comment right here, I want to read this all the way through just so I can prove to y'all how idiotic Jordan fans be sometimes. This man commented and said, imagine saying do your research and being absolutely wrong. The Bulls went after Rodman because literally no other team wanted him because he was problematic, and the Spurs was literally about to put him in the expansion lottery until the Bulls made them an offer and Phil Jackson asked Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen if they were okay with it. I'ma say it one more time. And then Phil Jackson asked Jeffrey Jordan and Scottie Pippen if they were okay with it, because they had history with him since their rivalry with Detroit, and they were okay with it. I'm gonna say it one more time. And they, referring to MJ and Scottie Pippen, and they were okay with it. So essentially what this fool just said, without saying, was that basically Phil Jackson asked Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen if they wanted Rodman on the team. Michael Jordan said yes, Scottie Pippen said yes, and then they end up getting Rodman. Now, to those who don't know, I'm gonna just tell you this right now. Dennis Rodman is a 5-time NBA champion. He won 2 Defensive Player of the Years. He's a 7-time All-Defensive First Team, and he won 7 straight rebounding titles, which means this man led the league in rebounding for 7 straight years. Now, the reason why Rodman was deemed as, uncoachable or problematic, as the comment said, was because of off-the-court situations. It had nothing to do with his on-court stuff, because on the court, this man was a rebounding machine. So when the Bulls came up to MJ and was like, hey, yo, you want this dude on your team? Like, you can recruit him on the team and get him signed up for you. And he okayed it. That's why we had Rodman on the doggone Chicago Bulls. And their first year together, they won 72 games and won the championship and ended up winning the next 2 years. And this is what makes me mad about MJ fans, because MJ fans will really sit up here and lie and tell you that MJ never recruited people, but it's so obvious that he did. There's been plenty of times where Jordan was recruiting people when he was an active NBA player. You know why? Because that's a natural thing to do, especially if you're not winning. If you want to go out and recruit talent to join your team, that is so natural. It's only these old-headed basketball fans that want to call everything weak when literally their GOAT did the same thing. And shout out to GOAT James Kingdom, because they literally have proof of this man literally recruiting people when he was an active NBA player. Roll the clip.
Who convinced Jerry Krause? Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson showed up to Jerry Krause's house to meet up with Dennis Rodman to explain to them that we want Dennis Rodman on the team. He wanted to make sure that Dennis Rodman being added to the Chicago Bulls was not going to be a problem.
When I came to Chicago Bulls, people didn't know what to expect from me. I'm coming in, kind of hot, because San Antonio just got rid of me for pretty much for nobody. We'll produce straight up. And I'm like, what the hell is this all about?
In the summer of 1995, Michael Jordan was on a recruiting campaign. He even sat for over an hour for Jason Williams, telling him how he just needed a rebounder to win more championships.
And I believe this to be true because even a book that came out about Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls, a book by Sam Smith called The Jordan Rules, he literally explains that there was a whole bunch of times where Michael Jordan went to the front office and wanted people traded. Roll the screenshots. As you guys can see right here from the book, Michael Jordan, he didn't think Scottie Pippen or Horace Grant were tough enough and he was lobbying for trades. But then the Bulls used the cap space or the cap room to acquire Dennis Hopson instead of any of Jordan's choices. After losing Ed Neely, he wanted the team to use their first round draft pick to get an experienced player. Management knows where we can improve, said Jordan, and I don't think they'll be looking at the draft. Telling Johnny Dawkins the Bulls are going to draft him during a pickup game in North Carolina. So when the Bulls skipped Dawkins for Sellers, Jordan felt both betrayed and embarrassed. This man Jordan was recruiting so much that this man was recruiting college players and telling them that, bro, we gonna you. And then when the team didn't do it, the man felt embarrassed. But again, MJ didn't recruit nobody, right? Let's continue to read. Jordan pushing the team to get Walter Davis. Jordan was always trying to get the Bulls to trade for someone. I'm gonna read that one more time. Jordan was always trying to get the Bulls to trade for someone. Again, Jordan telling them to make trades. Right here, lobbying to Bulls to trade for Buck Williams from the Nets because Jordan didn't particularly care for Horace Grant, never believing Grant would develop into a responsible player, and basically rooted hard for Buck Williams, who was represented by the same agent Jordan has, David Falk. So yeah, guys, he definitely tried to recruit other players and definitely went to the front office a whole bunch of times telling them to get this player, draft this player, even went on to even tell a fellow player that the Bulls were going to draft him, just for them to not do that, and then he felt embarrassed. And because he didn't particularly care about Horace Grant, he wanted Buck Williams because Buck Williams was represented by the same agent that he had. So yeah, recruiting people that he went to the same college as him or had the same agent as him. But again, MJ fans will tell you that. MJ fans gonna sit up here and tell you guys that yeah, Jordan never recruited nobody, Jordan never did that. But check out what Dennis Rodman said.
His house.
When Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan asked me to come to Jerry Krause's house. When Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan asked me to come to Jerry Krause's house.
And asked me, did I want to join the Chicago Bulls? And I said, I don't give a damn, pretty much. And I think that, I think it was something in the sense where, I think we talked about this a long time ago, where, I had to go I had to go apologize to Scottie, which it was right or wrong. But pretty much after that all happened, the team formed with me and Michael